Hey guys, welcome back to Puff Lauda. So, I guess we're gonna go forward with this raid. I don't know what that's about, but we'll see. Within moments, the compound was like a beehive. I think I read this sentence already, so we're gonna just skip that. The tension felt thick enough to cut with a knife. I found it affecting me, despite my best efforts. My encounter at Masu's created some of their current headache, and I'd hoped to make up for it. Hey, can I... Oh, it became clear to me that I had very little to offer when it came to preparing for a raid. At the end of the day, all I could do was stay quietly to the side to avoid being a burden. Just then, I heard someone's voice out of the blue.
動ける大使が足りていない。近藤さんの隊は10名で動くそうだ。
Good lord.
俺ら土方さんの隊は24人だったか。大使の半分が腹痛って笑えねえよな。
Ugh. Ah, that's right. There were a handful of men who were bedridden from a swift food poisoning epidemic, leaving them short-handed in battle. They had planned on dividing the troops in half. Kondo's troop would go to Ikeda Inn, and Hijikata's troop would head to Shikoku Inn. Shikoku, okay.
そういえば、あいつらは使わないのか。夜の任務だし、うってつけだと思うんだが。
Them?
お前らが減らしたけど、まだ何人か残ってるはずだろう。
しばらく実戦から遠ざけるらしい。調整に手間取っていると聞いたが、血に触れるたび俺たちの指示も聞かずに狂われてはたまらん。
Ugh. What? I swore I'd heard something before about a reaction to blood, but this is something I was not supposed to hear. The two men hadn't realized I was listening to their conversation, but it was crucial that I don't say anything.
奴らも浮かばれねえな。戦うために選んだ道だろうに。
3. 浮かばれないという表現は死んだ者に対して使うものだろう。
ああ、表向きは死んだことになってるが、本当は死んじゃいないしな。
Oh God.
めったなことじゃ死なねえし。
There was no doubt that what I was hearing was not meant for my ears. I shoved my fingers into my ears and closed my eyes tightly. The best I could do was to make sure that I didn't hear anything else.
雪村君、こんなところで何をしているのかね。
My eyes flew open to see Kondo in front of me. I couldn't just sit there. I told him the truth, how I felt so useless, and left my room to find some way to help.
なるほどな。君の気持ちはよくわかる。打ち入り前で皆も高揚しているしな。
Yes. Excited. More like bloodthirsty, to be honest.
どうかね。君も一緒に来るか。
What? That was not what I expected him to say. You mean go on a raid with you? I don't know what I could...
実は腹を壊して動けない大使が多くてな。人手が足りんのだ。伝令役になってもらえるとありがたいんだが。もちろん君に無理はさせん。
You raise a good point. Now that he mentioned it, I did remember hearing that Kondo's troop only had 10 people in it. Well, all right, if I'll just be a messenger. His face split into a grin, and I found myself on the way to Ikeda Inn to accompany their raid. Kondo's presence was relieving, and his good nature gave me comfort in asking him a question. Kondo? Your uniform is different than the one your other men wear. The Shinsengami's unique light blue uniform made it so that anyone in Kyoto would recognize them. However, Kondo's uniform was white, almost cream, setting him apart from his men.
これか？暗いところに押し入った時にすぐに仲間だとわかるようにな。
Okay. I see. I didn't know the core uniform came in so many different varieties. Their usual uniform was well-fitting, and the color stood out, but this white uniform was more elegant. I smiled while I looked at his uniform, and I braced myself for what was to come. Well, hour of the dog. Approximately 8 p.m. Apparently that's the hour of the dog? Okay. After we arrived at Akeda, I was sent off on several short errands nearby. I returned to hear Nagakura talking to Okita.
こっちが当たりか。まさか長州藩邸のすぐ裏で会合とはな。
僕は最初からこっちだと思ってたけど。 奴らは今までも頻繁に池田屋を使ったし。
だからって古高が捕まった晩にわざわざ普段と同じ場所で集まるか？普通は場所を変えるだろう、常識的に考えて。
じゃあ奴らには常識がなかったんだね。実際こうして池田屋で会合してるわけだし。
Nagakura and Okita's conversation was very light-hearted, which didn't quite suit the subject matter. Perhaps the Choshu were trying to trick the Shinsengumi. I certainly wouldn't have known. Whatever the reason for their behavior, however, neither Nagakura or Okita seemed worried. Heisuke noticed me as I approached and jogged over.
どうだった？会津藩とか諸次第の役人まだ来てなかった？
Okay, one of Japan's more influential clans. And some dude who oversees stuff. Oh my god, there's so much dictionary. To be honest, I didn't really see anyone nearby.
日暮れ頃にはとっくに連絡してたってのに、まだ動いてないとか何やってんだよ。
落ち着けよ、平助。
The larger man smacked Heisuke playfully on the shoulder with a bark of laughter.
あんな奴ら役に立たねえんだから、来ても来なくても一緒だろ。
だけどさ、新八さん。俺らだけで突入とか無謀だと思わねえの？
Heisuke frowned, and Takeda, who was on the standby behind Heisuke, nodded in agreement.
この人数で
ああ、
など
It's
無謀
you.
にも程がある。ここは会津藩の援軍を待つべきかと。
武田君がそう言うなら分かった。もう少しだけ待ってみよう。
Well... But no matter how long we waited, the officials never came. Hour of the boar. 10 p.m. Jesus. I looked up at the sky. The moon inched itself further across the sky since we had arrived at Okita Inn.
さすがにこれはちょっと遅すぎるな。
近藤さん、どうします？これでミスミス逃がしちゃったら無様ですよ。
The chief had been quiet all this time, but when Okita addressed him, he finally stood up to speak.
これ以上は待てん。宗司、長倉君、東堂君、俺についてきてくれ。
Okay. Okita nodded quietly but firmly.
では、私は表口を固めますから、皆さんご存分にどうぞ。
あ？武田さん来ないつもりかよ。
いいからいいから。中が暗くて間違って切られても困るし。あ、
Oh
こっちが
lord.
間違って切っちゃうかも。
沖田君、それはどういうことかな？
まあまあ、突っ込むのは気心が知れた方がいいだろう。というわけだから、武田さんは外を頼むぜ。
雪村君、少し池田屋から離れていてくれるか。ここは危険だ。老子が降りてくるかもしれん。もっとも逃がすつもりはないがな。
Okay. Alright. Running away. Oh, Jesus. He stood up, smiled curtly, and ran into the inn.
会津中将お預かり老子隊新選組、戦議のため宿内を改める。
Well, we got a picture get. And... Okay. His declaration was met with a cacophony of yells and screams erupting from out of the inn.
わざわざ大声で討ち入りを知らせちゃうとか、すごく近藤さんらしいよね。
いいんじゃねえの？正々堂々名乗りを上げる。それが討ち入りの定石ってもんだ。
自分をわざわざ不利な状況に追い込むのが新八さんの言う定石？
Heisuke and Nagakura grinned at one another as they sauntered towards the inn.
御用改めでやる。手向かいすれば容赦なく切り捨てる。
Oh my god. Then the battle began in earnest. The yells of men and the clang of swords filled the air, rolling out through the doors and the windows of the inn. Oh, Jesus. I heard feet pound upstairs, the screams of men dying, the wet thud of bodies dropping to the floor. Ew. Ugh. Well, there was someone, but all the men who'd come with captains ran around the back and couldn't hear Nagakura. Takeda, on the other hand, was stationed outside to arrest anyone trying to flee the building. What should I do? The only person left to go help them was me. But even if I did, what could I do? That's when I heard Kondo.
大丈夫かソジ
Nagakura called out from somewhere else in the inn.
死ぬなよ平助
Oh no! I had no desire to enter the slaughterhouse with men killing one another. Even if I did, I had no illusions about my skill with a blade. I was sure to be killed before I'd even drawn it. But I could hardly stand around doing nothing. Oh god, I ran in? Perhaps if I couldn't fight, I could rescue the wounded, find them, and carry them out of the inn. I'd made up my mind, steeled myself, and ran inside. Inside, it was pitch black. The smell of blood hit me like in the stomach like a fist, filling the air. There were dark lumps on the floor everywhere, the bodies of fallen men. Where were Okita and Heisuke? It had sounded like a good idea at the time, but as I looked around that charnel house, I realized there was no way I could carry 2 men outside. What should I do? Let's look for Okita first. I decided that I had to go look for Okita. I knew it had caused trouble for him during the noon patrols, but he never called me out for it. It seemed only fair that I try to return the favor. Who's that? Ah! A Ronin came out of nowhere, falling down the stairs and screaming. My kodachi was in my hand before I'd even realized I'd drawn it. Then Kondo's sword slid through his heart. I just watched a man die.
君が来たのか他の大使は何をやってるんだ
He did his best to act calmly, but I could tell my appearance had both surprised and worried him.
すまんが掃除を見てやってくれるか2階にいるのは掃除と老子が1人だけだ掃除に限って負けはせんだろうが手傷を負うかもしれん
Yes, sir. I nodded quickly and ran off through the carnage. He's upstairs. I took them 2 at a time and landed hard on the top floor. It didn't take long to spot him. Are you okay? Oh. Only a few feet from me, Okita was battling a Ronin. I felt my stomach lurch. The cold ring of steel against steel tore through the air, and their blades flashed lines of light in the darkness. Oh, whoops, I missed that. I don't even know what they said. Whoops. The strange Ronin's eyes narrowed, and his mouth curved into a smug smile. I'd seen Okita train with the soldiers, and his skill with the blade had been clear, but this Ronin... The way he dodged, parried, and slowly drove Okita back seemed almost effortless. Ugh. The blood and violence that was choking the inn had no effect on him, it seemed. He was so peaceful, in fact, that he hardly looked like he belonged in the middle of all that carnage.
悪いけど返せないんだ。僕たちの敵には死んでもらわなくちゃ。
The smile split on his face for half a second, and then he launched himself at the Ronin. Their swords slammed together. To my untrained eye, it looked as though the Ronin was a self-taught swordsman. His sword moved with the large, crude arcs, while Okita responded with skill and finesse. In the contest of skill, Okita would have been the clear winner, but... As their blades sprang apart, it was always Okita who found himself pushed back. The Ronin's sword was heavy but fast. It was clear that he was Okita's superior in raw power. The summer heat had turned the air thick and humid. I could barely breathe. Sweat poured down my spine and beaded off my face as quickly as I could wipe it off. As I could wipe it off again, I... Distract him! Don't look around the what in the fuck? Nearby, a bowl sat unattended on the floor. If I could use that to distract the Ronin briefly, it could give Okita the opening he needed. With every ounce of strength I had, I hurled the bowl straight at the Ronin. Almost without thinking, he turned his blade and smashed the bowl to the floor. The moment of distraction gave Okita his opening. He leapt forward. Even caught off guard, the Ronin managed to get his blade up in time, but the blow sent him stumbling back a step or two, an angry look on his face. And as Okita lifted his sword towards his opponent, he whispered in a voice so only I could hear it. Hey, you're welcome. I knew now wasn't the time to bring it up, but I'm glad I was able to help. Oh, rude. The strange Ronin sword whipped through the air, little more than a silvery blur. Oh god. Okita accepted the blow with the sword. However, the opponent's blow from above was too powerful. Okita stumbled ever so slightly, but the man did not miss his opportunity. Oh god. The Ronin's foot slammed the center of Okita's chest. The source of his tremendous strength apparently extended to his legs as well as his sword arm. I heard a red crunch as the kick connected, and Okita tumbled across the floor of the room. When he stopped, I saw him grip his chest and cough. Okita! I leapt across the room. Are you alright? His face was tight with pain. The most he could manage was labored gasps and wet, tearing coughs. Okita was in no condition to fight. As I struggled to move myself under his arm to lift him up, I glared at the strange Ronin. Ew. I watched the tip of his blade drift up to me. With a groan of pain, Okita lifted himself up and stumbled between me and the Ronin. Oh god. Oh no, this is a picture. No, Okita, you can't. There was a good chance he had broken bones, and if he was coughing up blood, then his internal organs could be damaged as well. He could barely stand, let alone fight, and he was making no attempts at hiding it. But he stood firm. Oh no. The Ronin sneered. I'm sweating. I'm so afraid. New flecks of blood appeared as he shouted. Stop that! You're still coughing up blood! The Ronin regarded us with his cool, disinterested eyes for a few moments, and then with smooth motion, lifted his sword and slid it into his scabbard. What? Wow. His aloofness was amplified by the satisfaction he drew with his every word. He placed his foot out the window, cackling to himself as he jumped through gracefully. Did he just run? No, he hadn't run. He was letting us go. You are covered in blood, my good sir. Okita. His voice was weak. Why did you do that? Okita turned his head to look at me. You always said you'd kill me if I got in your way. So why had he protected me? He raised a shaky eyebrow. His words were already slurring. Oh, rip. Okita? His eyes fluttered, and his body folded as he collapsed into the floor. Huh? I'd been so worried about Okita, I hadn't noticed. The sounds of screaming men and clattering swords had disappeared. Is it over? The moment the words were out of my mouth, I had heard the sound of labored footsteps on the stairs. Finally, the sun rose from the black sky. The raid itself had lasted only 2 hours, but for me, at least, it felt far longer. There had been 20 Imperial nationalists at the Okita Inn. The Shinsengumi had killed 7 Ronin and injured 4 more. I learned later that, with the help of the Aizu domain and the Kyoto Judiciary Commissioner, they arrested 23 people. The owner of the Okita Inn had also been arrested for trying to help the Choshu rebels escape. The Shinsengumi had won an incredible victory, fighting against superior numbers in enemy territory, but they paid dearly for it. Okita had taken a blow to the chest and lost consciousness. Keisuke had been cut on the forehead and the bleeding refused to stop. Nagakura had injured his left hand. One of the Shinsengumi soldiers lost his life at the inn's rear entrance, and 2 others were severely injured there as well. It didn't seem likely that they would survive. The Kyoto military and judiciary commissioners also fought the Choshu Ronin. Blah, 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 blah. With their successful revolution of the battle at Okita Inn, the Shinsengumi had at last made a name for themselves. Yay! It looked as though the peace in Kyoto had been protected. Never could I have imagined what the ultimate result of their victory would be. Well, shit. Everyone's injured. That's not great. And now we're in July. I think, weren't we in July before? I guess that's only like, I don't know how the time is passing, but. End of July, 1864. Weeks passed since the Battle of Okita Inn. In the meantime, the Shinsengumi grew stricter during their rounds to arrest the numerous outlaw ronin that escaped from the Okita Inn. Rumors surfaced of extremists who were plotting to exact revenge on the Shinsengumi. Additionally, there were also problems occurring with warriors spanning from other domains, making things tense around the headquarters. Things were finally settling down. As a result of my efforts during the battle, they grew more encouraging of my involvement. The Shinsengumi allowed me to sweep the area in front of the headquarters on my own. One day, I was cleaning the courtyard with a broom when I heard gentle footsteps approaching me.
すみません。こちらが新選組の屯所ですか?
Oh, yes. Ah! The voice came from behind me, so I was caught off guard when answering.
君は?
Huh? Hichikata showed up suddenly, as if he telepathically knew I was speaking to someone. Oh, Hichikata, this man is... Before I could finish my sentence, the man ran towards Hichikata.
やっぱりトシさん八郎ですお久しぶりです
おめえは八郎かなんだってこんなところにいるんだ
Yikes. When Hichikata realized who it was, his eyes grew wide.
驚きました幕命で教視察に来てるんです
He's got a cute laugh, I suppose.
それより新選組って本当にトシさんたちのことだったんですねこの目で見るまでは信じられなかったけどおめでとうございます本当に侍になれたんですね
おい冷やかすなよまだ扱いは浪人と同じなんだからよ
でも侍になりたいって夢が叶ったじゃないですか
冷やかすなって言ってんだろ
いいえ江戸じゃ泣く子も黙る新選組といったらとても有名なんですよそれに池田屋の話も聞いています皆さんとてもご活躍だったみたいですね
Oh, look at the blushies. How very unlike himself. Hichikata seemed to be flustered, and his cheeks were rosy. Judging from their conversation, it appeared that this gentleman had come to visit Hichikata. The rhythm of their rapport seems to suggest that they had been friends for quite some time. Once I verified their conversation had come to a halt, I mustered the courage to speak to Hichikata. Hichikata, may I ask who this is?
そうかお前は初めてだったな
まだ名乗っていませんでしたね僕伊庭八郎と言います幕府直参旗本で
Oh
大
god.
番氏奥詰役を務めています
There's a lot to read here. High-ranking vassals of the Tokugawa who serve the Shogun directly. Oh, cool. Oh, I'm Chizuru Yukimura.
改めてよろしくお願いします
Oh, yes. Nice to meet you too. As soon as Iba and I finished our introductions, Hichikata was inclined to get us indoors.
まあ立ち話もなんだ中に入ってくれ
Okay. I took tea to the two in the hall, and that's where we're gonna stop. So I guess, I mean, like, it's so weird that they hop from, like, battle scene to peaceful scene to battle scene. Like, we don't know what's going on with all of the injured folk. Like, I don't know. But I guess next time we'll see what this guy wants. And I guess we'll see if Okita survived the kick to the stomach. Because I feel kind of bad now. I'm sorry I called you a douche in, like, the first episode. Alright. See you guys next time.